under false pretenses, and used the city's resources to travel between Eugene and Salem, which was part of that policy violation for truthfulness. Kenlon was untruthful and lacked integrity, demonstrating disregard for policies and standards of proper police practices. Kenlon's violation of the policy for truthfulness came just 2 months after he was reprimanded for actions concerning a pen gun, showing a persistent dishonesty following an administrative action. Following Kenlon's being placed on the Brady list, the DA's office hired a contractor to conduct a review of the cases that involved his testimony as a witness. And the review recommended a dismissal of 30 cases that were that involved a felony conviction, 55 that involved misdemeanors, and 8 for violations and 6 for contempt of court. After he was placed on the Brady list, his agency terminated him. The department found that Kenlon violated the board's moral fitness standards for dishonesty and misconduct. The department found that Kenlon was intentionally untruthful in his request to use the city vehicle to travel to his cousin's home while attending a training in Eugene. Instead, he traveled to Salem for personal reasons. Kenlon intentionally made false statements to his supervisor and a fellow officer regarding his whereabouts during the training. The department found for misconduct that Kenlon's conduct resulted in a highly publicized review, which reflects poorly on law enforcement profession, and the recommendation to dismiss criminal court cases, including 36 felonies, creates a potential risk and negative impact to the victims and the community. As such, created an inefficient operation of the Dallas Police Department and the Wasco County Sheriff's Office, or District Attorney's Office. The department is seeking a vote to modify or negate the department's findings. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Before we ask for a consensus to adopt the record, I have a couple of questions. Is there more information about the pen gun? I have a lot of questions about this case. We do have a lot of information provided, but there's a couple of things I just wanted to know if there was no more information.
Correct. Yes. We didn't receive the pen gun investigation.
Okay. It's referenced, but
yes.
I'm fine to go on without it. I was just wondering where it was.
I think there might have been a memo that essentially said that he was reprimanded, but not an investigation or full details of exactly that.
My concern was was also around truthfulness, whereas as was the second incident was around truthfulness, and neither of them apparently rose to the level of concern with the department at the time. With all that being said, I believe I have enough information. Anyone other discussion or consensus? Out the record. Do we have a consensus? We'll adopt the record. Discussion of aggravating and mitigating factors. We'll open up the case for discussion. You state your name and if you're aggravating or mitigating. Accounting for the record, I will start aggravating. This is just dumb. It's just a dumb reason to be untruthful, to take your department car and travel hundreds of miles, probably over a couple of days, to stay at a hotel room with someone. It's so unnecessary, and I just find it when we're in these situations, you just shake your head. Why would a police officer do this, and why in our career field would you do that? And I think it's aggravating that the level of effect it had on the cases in his county is extremely aggravating. So I can go on and on.
Mark Dave for the record. Aggravating. It's abundantly clear how manipulative he was to get his own way to, and this was a premeditated thing. Meeting this person in Salem. and making up reasons why he couldn't, stay in a hotel room with, his fellow employees, while he attended, training in Eugene. So, the premeditation, really got me, being manipulative of the chief of police and anybody else there in the department. I just had a real problem.
Public member Lofgren, for the record. I, once again, as a public member, reading about the degree of dishonesty and misuse of materials, it just, to me, once again stood out that this was not someone that I think should be representing me in the police force. The level of disinformation and dishonesty and misconduct was just over the bar.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Probably for the record, I'm gonna just expand on what you said, aggravating. I think it's aggravating in all sensitive definitions of the word aggravating. It's a number of cases that were recommended to be dismissed, the number of cases that were recommended to be expunged, the records. The DA obviously thought this was extremely aggravating. That's jeopardizing the public. This has real impact.
Thank you. Any mitigation? Hearing none, Melissa, if you want.
Mr. Chair, for aggravating, I have, it was a dumb reason for him to be untruthful and it was very unnecessary. The level of impact on cases in the county was aggravating. It was clear that he was manipulating and had premeditated to meet another person in Salem during the training. The degree of dishonesty and misuse of resources is, means that he is not someone who we want in the profession. It was aggravating, the number of cases involved, the number to be expunged. The DA thought it was aggravating and jeopardized the public, and the issue has an impact on everyone, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We'll now open a discussion of whether there was a moral fitness violation. Options are to affirm, modify, or negate. In this case, it is dishonesty and misconduct.
Mark Daniel, for the record, I'll move to affirm both.
Who's the second?
Talking about second.
We are voting on a motion to affirm the moral fitness violations. Chair Downing,
Aye.
Vice Chair Connie. Aye. Committee Member Barrett.
Aye.
Committee Member Vandenberg.
Aye.
Committee Member Daniel.
Aye.
Committee Member Dresser.
Aye.
Committee Member Duncan.
Aye.
Committee Member Livingston.
Aye.
Committee Member Lofgren.
Aye.
Committee Member Townsend and Committee Member Wood. Motion passed.
I will make a motion or move for a motion to take action or take no action. Remember, if you take no action, you need to include why you're not taking any action. Chair Downing, I'll start. I'll make a motion to take action.
I'll second.
I'm voting on a motion to take action. Chair Downing.
Aye.
Vice Chair Connie.
Aye.
Committee Member Barrett.
Aye.
Committee Member Vandenberg.
Aye.
Committee Member Daniel.
Aye.
Committee Member Dresser.
Aye.
Committee Member Duncan.
Aye.
Committee Member Livingston.
Aye.
Committee Member Lofgren.
Aye.
Committee Member Townsend.
Aye.
And Committee Member Wood. Motion passed.
Thank you. We'll now discuss the ineligibility period, have a discussion, looking for discussion and motion regarding the amount of ineligibility. We are looking at misconduct and dishonesty, which is up to a lifetime ban, 3 years minimum, correct? From
March 5th, 2021.
that's the one. March 5th, 2021. Looking for a discussion and a motion.
Duncan will make a motion for a lifetime ban, because of the impact it had to the community, the cases. And as was pointed out earlier, the clear premeditation to lie. It wasn't spontaneous or anything like that.
The second that motion.
Any more discussion on that?
Voting on a motion for a lifetime ineligibility period, Chair Nowling.
Aye.
Vice Chair Conning.
Aye.
Committee Member Barrett.
Aye.
Committee Member Brandenburg.
Aye.
Committee Member Daniel.
Aye.
Committee Member Dresser.
Aye.
Committee Member Duncan.
Aye.
Committee Member Livingston.
Aye.
Committee Member Lockton. Committee Member Townsend.
Aye.
And Committee Member Wood.
Aye.
Motion passed.
We're going to take a 5-minute break for an IT issue.